Hello YouTube, Portland Car Lover here, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2016 Dodge Charger police package on the left of your screen. Now, many of you have probably, or none of you have seen the video of the Ford Taurus on the right. I'm not going to go over that, obviously, since I've made a video on it. So if you want to take a look at this car, all the functions, what I've done to it, I will have a link to that in the description down below. So with that out of the way, let me talk about this Charger in front of you. So this is a New York State Police car. I just had this sitting around in my collection. I wanted to do something with it. And I really liked this car because it had a lighting setup that was not like the Taurus, which was red and blue. This is red with two blue lights in the back. So I'm just going to kind of go over the functions of this briefly and kind of what you can do with these LED kits, because I think there's no one who's really talked about that. At the beginning, as you saw, I had a complete demonstration of the lights. I'll just kind of explain briefly how I did certain things with the lights on this, and then I'll kind of get to what you can do with this car. So, you obviously have your headlights, like that. You got your taillights. Then you have your high beams, like that. And then you have your traffic advisor functions, but I've already gone over that in the video before this. All right. So let's just look at the lights on this. So I will unplug my bright lights above this. So you have on the front, let's see if I could cover this up. You have push bumper lights. So you have these two in the middle right here, and the two on the side. These are separate. They are not at random. These are actually, flickering in a sequence. And then you have the light bar, which is a bit brighter from the back, as you could see, because that's the direction the lights are pointing. And then on the back, you have two blue lights. You have one right there and one right here. Unfortunately, you can't see them as well. That's just the way the vehicle is designed. I couldn't really work around that. So I'm going to talk about what I had to do this, because I think a lot of people are going to ask, oh, well, how'd you do this? I will explain it. Let me just plug this light in. It's a lot harder than you think. There we go. All right, so let's talk about what I did to this car. So let's start with the bottom. So with every single LED kit that Nick makes, you can buy these kits at technicaldesigns.com. I'll have a link to this. Oh, I should explain this before I go on to the bottom. I'll turn the lights on really quickly. Do one of the different features. Let's do this. So there are a couple different functions on this. This LED kit was specially ordered from Nick. Because when you buy this, you will get it, and I will show you the other police car I have with the full light setup on. This one, I'll move this out of the way, has red and blues. So it has red and blues on the sides, and then red and blues in the back. That's what it comes like standard. If you want a different setup, you will have to talk to Nick, but he doesn't charge any extra. This was regular retail price for it, which is, when you do buy this, if you want, and you do need to get this, you need to get a charger for it, which uses just a standard Samsung port, which is USB 3, if I'm correct. So, pardon me. This kit was custom ordered. So the standard, it comes with 8 strobe lights. So they have 2 headlights, 2 taillights, 8 strobe lights, 4 red, 4 blue. This one has 8 red and 2 blue. So that is more than the regular one comes with. So 4 of the strobes are on the front. With a standard kit, these lights right here, these are just the regular ones that you would come with, so you can put them on the front, the back, wherever you want. But instead, I have the blues in the back are synced up with the ones in the front. You'll notice they're flashing just like the ones in the front. Let me change up the pattern really quick right here. So, if you want one of these custom ordered, talk to Nick. He will definitely do it. If you want the lights amber, you make them amber. If you want them amber and green, make them amber and green. I do have an LED kit where all the lights are white on this. This is for a breast cancer car. I will do a video of that if I can when it's finished, but it's a competition vehicle. It's going to be auctioned off, so I'm kind of rushing that right now. I'm getting off track. So, pretty much with these cars, if you build them right, they could be, they are pretty much like any other Greenlight. I will turn the lights off right here. You could roll them around, do whatever you want with them. The battery in these lasts about, I'd say 15 minutes. That's a guesstimate. However, you could recharge it within 5 minutes. The recharge time is absolutely perfect. Pardon me. So in this car, it has a lithium-ion battery, which is about, I think right here in this car. I'll show the bottom of this. So if you're building one of these, I really highly recommend this. I highly recommend that you get screws, because this makes it insanely easy putting this car together, because you have the pressure that you need to hold everything in, because the parts will kind of, there's not a lot of tension, I'd say, but everything is very tightly fit inside this vehicle. So you will need screws. I have glued them in the past, like my Taurus, as I'll very carefully show to you, because this one is a lot more fragile. This one, now, the reason it has no bottom on it, that was done on purpose. I just wanted to show what goes inside this, because most of the time you don't see that. So, and as you can see, this one was glued on. I don't have the tools right on me right now for what I used. I might provide a link in the description. Just look up how to tap a Hot Wheel. It's honestly really cheap. It's absolutely worth it. I really highly recommend getting it. Takes a little bit getting used to, but it'll work eventually. So when you get this kit, it also comes with a charging port, which you kind of need. It's not as hard as you think. That you have to plug this in to it. I will show you. I'm gonna have to do this off screen because I do not have enough room on the set I have right now. So when you plug it in, it just looks like this. If you want, you could run it off the charging port if you want to keep it running for a while, but I kind of like running it without that, just because it kind of makes it look, you know, because a lot of these cars you'll see that they actually have to have a wire hooked up to it to keep it running. They usually don't have a battery inside it. So, and then the only other thing that's on the bottom is your button. Just push it, turns on the stuff, hold it down, turns it off. That's really it. Like I said, I have, I need to talk about how I built this. So, the biggest problem I ran into with this charger is that, and if you ever build this, you'll notice this, there is pretty much a wall here, a metal wall, and it's very hard to get these headlights out, so you have to drill a hole all the way back in here, which is why there's actually a little glow through. The push bumper, the wires are fed through the actual holes that it went into, so because of that, it's not insanely secure. It is a little bit loose, but it's not that bad. In terms of the light bar, I'll see if you could see it. You could kind of see the LEDs right there. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not completely evenly spaced perfectly, but it's perfect. It's okay for what it is. The good thing is it's really hard to see the wires inside. I mean, yeah, you could kind of see them, but it's impossible to notice. I'm gonna take this off the screen. This is really annoying me. And in terms of the taillights, I have a hole. Let me turn on the lights to show you. Okay. So, let me do a strobe function you haven't seen yet. Alright. So, I had to drill a hole for the taillight here, hole for taillight there, and then a hole here for the blue light, and a hole here for the blue light. Nothing that much, nothing that complicated. It did take a little bit of, finesse, and I had to tape off everything so I didn't damage the paint. But if you have basic tools, you could easily build this car. And I highly recommend getting one of these kits because they are so much fun. I was originally going to sell this, but I've grown in love with it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry for me rambling on for so long, but, I get really passionate about this stuff, and I really highly recommend you buy one of these kits. Not just because I'm friends with Nick, but just because these genuinely are the best of the best. You can't get anything better than this. They're insanely easy to use, and they're very fun and cheap. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.